भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are nicely progressing in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Dhyana Yoga. We understood very clearly about how to control our mind. And when Krishna explained all the procedures to control the mind, then Arjuna immediately told Krishna that he cannot control his mind because mind is restless. It's very difficult to curb the restless mind. So that's what Arjuna is telling Krishna. So for us in this material world, this is a great opportunity for us to realize, to understand that we have to control our mind. Because Krishna is, first of all, even before teaching us about how to control the mind, Krishna is the very first shloka when he talks about the mind. Krishna is saying that with the mind we can either elevate ourselves or we can downgrade ourselves. Both are possible. Either we can enjoy or we can suffer. Because mind is the source of our enjoyment and suffering. Nothing else. Nothing else in this material world. Mind. Only mind is the source of our happiness and distress. Because if we are satisfied in mind, then we are happy. If we are not satisfied, if we are disturbed in mind, then we are not happy. We are distressed. So, if we are disturbed in mind, then we are in distress. If we are satisfied in mind, then we are happy, in happiness. So, happiness and distress are like winter and summer seasons. That's what Krishna is teaching in this 2nd chapter. That matra sparsastu kaunteya sitosna sukha dukkadar. Happiness and distress are like winter and summer seasons. What kind of happiness and distress? The happiness and distress we get through sense objects. When the senses are in contact with sense objects, sometimes when we get what we want, when we enjoy the sense objects, at that time we think that we are very happy. And when we get what we don't want, then we have to suffer, we have to struggle. So in this material world, what Krishna is teaching us, Krishna is clearly telling us that we are going to get both. We are going to get what we want or what we don't want. Both are we are going to get. So matra sparsastu kaunteya sitosana sukha dukkha. Whether we want or not, we will get both winter and summer seasons. We cannot say that I like only winter, I don't want summer, or I like only summer, I don't want winter. Nothing like that. You're going to get both. So similarly, in this material world, because having obtained this material body, since we are in contact with this material world, with the material body, we are going to get both happiness and distress due to our contact with the material sense objects. Due to the sense, when the senses are in contact with the material sense objects, we are going to get both happiness and distress. That's what sitosana sukha dukkada. Agama apayana. So it will come and then go. Agama apayina. So matrasparsastu kaunteya sitosana sukha dukkada agama apayina. So tam stitiksasva bharata. Krishna is teaching Arjuna, Krishna is telling Arjuna that you learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So we should not be disturbed. How that is going to be possible? Because if we are disturbed by the temporary happiness and distress, non-permanent appearance and disappearance of happiness and distress are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. One must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. That's what Krishna is teaching. So in this material world, we are going to get both. But how are we going to tolerate? How are we not get disturbed by these things? That is possible only with our mind when we are connected with Krishna. Because when we are not disturbed by this means, we should learn to be happy all the time by connecting ourselves with Krishna. When our mind is always attached to Krishna, it's always connected to Krishna. Whatever we do in our life, everything for Krishna. So then nothing matters. In this material world, nothing else matters. Nothing else will matter. We won't be disturbed by anything. We won't be bothered by anything. Because our focus, our goal is only Krishna. Because we are connected with Krishna, when we focus our mind on Krishna, then this so-called temporary flickering, non-permanent flickering, happiness and distress due to contact with material sense objects are not going to bother us, are not going to disturb us. But there is a practice needed to achieve this status. It's not going to come just like that. We cannot become just on one day, okay, now I understood, I will not be disturbed by anything in this material world. So I'm going to focus all the time remembering Krishna. So then I will be very happy all the time. If we think like that, that's not going to happen on day one. That's what Arjuna is telling Krishna there. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can control my mind because the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate and very strong. Chanchalam ki mana Krishna pramadi balabhadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva suduskram. That is true. We are all forced in this material world. When we are attached to material sense objects, then we are forced to act. That is the science. We can see this with everyone. We can watch with ourselves or with anyone, everyone. We can see that when a person acts in such a way, when a person acts, we know that that person is having some attachment to something and acting. That's it. And not only that person is acting, that person is forced to act by the three modes of material nature. Because everyone is forced to act. That is because we have attachment to the results. If we are not affected by the results, if we do everything for Krishna, if we are not disturbed by the results, so then we will not be forced to act. That is the point we need to understand, that we will not be forced to act. That's why Krishna is teaching us in Bhagavad Gita repeatedly that give up the attachment to the results. Tyaktva karma phala sangam. Give up the attachment to the results. That is the main thing. Tyaktva karma phala sangam. Nitya tripto nirasrega. Karmani abhipravurtopi. Naiva kinchit karoti sak. So tyaktva karma phala sangam. Nitya tripto nirasrega. Nitya tripto nirasrega. So always be satisfied with what we have. Nitya tripto nirasrega. So if we are like that, then if we do, then nothing is going to affect us. So if we do like that, then we have to sangam tyaktva. So we have to lipyate nasa papena padmapadram ivambasa. That's what we study. So we need to give up the attachment to the results. Brahmanadaya karmani sangam tyaktva karotyaga lipyate nasa papena padmapadram ivambasa. In the 5th chapter we studied. So we should do everything for Krishna. Brahman Adaya. So who is going to get Adaya? For whose benefit? For whose enjoyment? For whose enjoyment we should do? Brahman. Brahman is Krishna. Parabrahman. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahman. So we are also Brahman. We can also elevate ourselves to Brahma Bhutam. So we are also the soul. So Brahmanadaya Karmani. So when we do some acts, that should benefit the self, that should benefit the soul, that should benefit the super soul. So soul and super soul, Jivatma and Paramatma, both are in our body. That is we. Our body means we. The Jivatma, the soul is in our body. So we are in our body. So, and Krishna is also in our body. So anything we do, that should benefit. That's what Brahmanadaya Karmani Sangam Tektva Karotyega Lipyate Nasa Papena. Then we will not be bound to sins. So then we are not going to get any sinful reactions. Lipyate Nasa Papena Padma Patram Ivambasa. So like lotus flower, lotus leaf, on the water on the lotus leaf, it doesn't touch. So also it doesn't fall. So like that, we should not be attached to the results. When we are performing our activities, when we are doing our duties, so we should not be disturbed by the results. So how is it going to happen? How are we going to do like this? That's possible only when we are able to practice doing that on a daily basis. First thing is that we are getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So then we should practice connecting ourselves with Krishna. We should practice giving up attachment to the results. So that's what we are studying now. Because when Arjuna told Krishna that because mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, I don't think I can control the mind. So when Arjuna told Krishna that, even Arjuna told that I can even control the wind, the very like hurricane. So Arjuna even told that I can control the hurricane, but I can't control the mind because mind is difficult. So at that time, the sloka what we studied in this sloka number 35 in the 6th chapter. So Krishna told Arjuna that there is no doubt, Arjuna. There is no doubt. It is very difficult to curb the restless mind. There is no doubt. There is no doubt. You can. It's very difficult to control the mind. Asamsaya Mahabaho Manodurnigraham Chalam. So asamsayam, there is no doubt. Asamsayam Mahabaho Manodurnigraham Chalam. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. That's what we study. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. So we need to practice detaching ourselves from this material sense objects. That's what practicing the detachment. So that's what vairagya. Vairagyena cha grihyate. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha. Vairagya means detachment. So if we practice detaching ourselves from the material sense objects, then we will be able to control our mind. So that's very important. That vairagya is very, very important. So we should not be attached. We should be detached. That vairagya, the determination, the detachment, that's what is very, very important. But we need to do practice. So that's why daily we should chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We should connect ourselves with Krishna and do everything for Krishna and dedicate our life unto Krishna. That's the main thing. Because when we do anything for Krishna, the results are going to be permanent. When we do anything in relationship with Krishna, whatever we gain, that's going to stay with us. That is the difference between when we forget Krishna and do everything for our own satisfaction. So when we accumulate anything in this material world, nothing is going to stay with us. We are going to lose everything completely. But when we connect with Krishna, when we do everything for Krishna, so then whatever we gain, so that's going to stay with us. Spiritual gains, of course. Materially, everything is made up of matter, atoms, electrons. They're all going to change. They're all going to break the bonds and form new bonds. So everything is going to change. Nothing is permanent. Everything is a function of temperature. So if the heat rises, then it breaks the bond or it forms the new bond and releases heat. All such things will happen. So nothing is permanent. What we see in this world, what we feel, with our senses, whatever we are experiencing, everything is going to be changing. Everything is going to be temporary. Nothing is permanent. But when we connect ourselves with Krishna, with our mind, when we focus on Krishna, when we do everything for Krishna, then it is going to be permanent. So for example, if we control our mind, if our mind is no longer going after material sense objects, when our mind, due to our constant practice, due to our daily practice and detachment, with detachment, abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. So with detachment, and if we practice abhyasena tu kaunteya, if we practice every day, so that way if we fine tune, if we tune our mind to focus on Krishna, that's why Krishna has given us what is that practice? The practice of wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. So that is the detachment. So mind is not going to stay in one place. Mind is going to go here and there. That is the way we trained our mind for so long. So it is not going to just sit in one place. But wherever the mind goes, so if you practice that, wherever the mind goes, bring it back. Yato yato nischalatti manaschanchalam astiram tatastato niyamyeta atmanyeva vasamnayat. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, we must bring it back and keep it under the control of ourselves. So that practice we need. So that's why Krishna is saying in the next sloka, what we are studying today, in this sloka number 36 in the 6th chapter, Krishna is very clearly telling Arjuna, in fact telling to all of us, that asamyatatmano yogo dusprapa iti me matihi. Asamyatatmano yogo dusprapa iti me matihi. Vasyatmanathu yatata sakyo vaptum avapyataka upayataka sakyo vaptum upayataka. So, without controlling the mind, asamyatatmano, without controlling the mind, yoga is not possible. Na ati asnatastu yogosti, na chaikantam anasnataga, na cha ati swapna silasya jagrato naiva chad. So without controlling the mind, we cannot, without regulating our senses, without regulating our activities, without controlling our mind, we cannot achieve yoga. Na ati asnatastu yogo asti. There is no yoga. So similarly here, without controlling the mind, asamyatatmano means without controlling the mind, asamyatatmana, yogo dusprapa iti me mati. So it is very difficult to attain yoga, the status of yoga. What is yoga? Yoga means not disturbed by success and failure. That means being equal in happiness and distress. Yam hina vyadayantyete purusham purushasava samadukka sukham dhiram somrutatvaya kalpate. Sama dukkha sukham. So one should be sama. Sama means equal. Sukha dukkham, happiness and distress. Sama dukkha sukham dhiram. So distress and happiness. One should be equal in both distress and happiness. Dukkham and sukham. So somrutatvaya kalpate. Amritatvaya. So we will be then go to amritam ashnute. We will go to amritatvaya kalpate. So we'll go to Krishna's abode. That's what we need to understand. Somritatvaya kalpate. So that way, in order to liberate ourselves and attain amritam. Amritam means the permanent life, the blissful life in Krishna's abode. So only when we are able to be equal in both happiness and distress. That means siddhi asiddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So in both success and failure, one should be equal. That maintaining that equanimity is known as yoga. So Krishna is teaching here very clearly in this sloka, asamyatat mano mana yogo. So without controlling the mind, yogo dusprapa iti me matigi. So my opinion, Krishna is saying that it is not possible. It's impossible to achieve yoga without controlling the mind. So that's why when Arjuna told Krishna that I can't control the mind, it's very difficult to control the mind. Etasyagam na pasyami. I don't see that I can control the mind. I don't think that I can control the mind. So Krishna is saying that if you can't control the mind, then you cannot achieve yoga. So it's very, very clear. We need to understand, If you want to achieve yoga, if you want to get out of this material world, if you want to get rid of this temporary miserable life in this material world, if you want to free ourselves from the three modes of material nature, and if you want to enjoy, if you want to be always in enjoy the happiness, if you want to always be in happiness, then we have to control our mind. There is no other way. That's why Krishna is teaching. Krishna is saying very clearly that asamyatat mana yoga dusprapayiti me madi vasyat manatu yatatha sakyo vaptum upayatakam. So we need to control our mind. Vasya means control. So vasyat manatu yatata. So we need to practice. We need to practice yatata. Yatata means endeavors. We need to put attempts. We need to practice. So if we don't practice, if we don't attempt, then we are not going to control the mind. So that's why Krishna is saying that vasyat manatu yatata sakyo avaptum upayatakam. So by constant practice, by appropriate means, by constant practice, we will be able to control the mind. So that's why in the previous sloka, Krishna said that abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. So we practice with detachment, then we will be able to control the mind. So without controlling the mind, we cannot achieve the yoga. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we finish this sloka number 36 today in the 6th chapter. Hare Krishna, I will stop now. And Arjuna will again start asking Krishna questions from the next sloka onwards. Another next 2-3 slokas, Arjuna only is going to talk. He will ask very, very important question, very nice question. So every question is very, very important. So we are going to understand that also in detail. Hare Krishna, I will stop now. We'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.